Welcome back to the manifestation series, where today Jen and I are talking about manifesting using your human design authority. Now, most of you already know that manifestation isn't just about vision boards and positive vibes, but it's really about making decisions from your truth. And what we're doing here is learning how to, drop into our body because our authority is our inner compass, right? It guides us towards what's aligned and away from what's actually not. I'm just trying to bring Jen on. Here we go. And, if you are someone who's sort of been facing these like forced outcomes, second guessing, or you're stuck in your head, this is the live for you to. So be sure to stay here and listen in because it will support you in understanding how you're designed to manifest and just show up like fully aligned every day. Hey, Jen.
Yes. Hey, Mr. Hall. Yeah, strategy and authority. I mean, we are always just a broken record that is what it takes for alignment, but today really diving into the authority piece and especially for decision making, and even just to decide like what am I manifesting?
When I found out I was emotional authority, I was like, oh, really? And I really took it as a negative because I was like, I just want to know straight away. I was jealous of those sacrals which is 35% of our population who can just follow their gut. And so all that advice of like, follow your gut, listen to your gut is so irrelevant for people like you and I as emotional authorities and for many other authorities because that is not how we're designed to actually make decisions, especially when it comes to manifestation. And so that's where we love teaching about this because it really takes you into like that inner workings of your body and learning how to drop back in and listen for those sort of very minute signals oftentimes and understanding how that actually works for you.
Yeah, with seven different authorities, there's so many different ways that we function, that we make aligned decisions. And this is for the work that I do, this is so important. Like this is the biggest piece, really, knowing your authority, what your truth is, so that you can make good decisions, right? We all want to make good decisions and have them come to fruition, reap all the benefits, live a life of abundance. It really comes from understanding, practicing, and embodying your authority so that you can manifest anything you want.
That's right. Anything you want. And so here's what we're going to do today. We're kind of going to drop into our body a little bit. We're going to trust our design. We're going to learn how to understand that. And if you don't know your human design chart, you really have to pull it in order to really understand what we're talking about here. So like save this, come back to it. Jen and I teach this in our Planning by Design monthly membership where we dive a little bit deeper and help women really realign with how they're showing up in their day-to-day lives. This is so important because, like Jen said, it's our decision making compass, right? So it's what tells us if we're in alignment or if we're not. So, for example, something that comes up a lot in our Planning by Design membership is like, I'm doing all the things that the business coaches tell me to do, but it's still not working. And oftentimes, our first step is to really go back and look, okay, well, what's your energy type? What's your strategy? And what's your authority? And again, we're talking about authority today being the inner compass decision making tool that tells us if we're in alignment or not.
When you grab your human design chart, it will say authority, how you're meant to make decisions. What it says underneath there is what you need to go by. Listen out for yours as I go through all seven of them. So, first, we'll talk about emotional, that Mistral and I both. That is our authority. That is how we make decisions. Half of the world is an emotional authority. And this is the new way of being. So we need to wait. We need to ride our emotional wave. There is no truth in the now, and we need to wait for emotional clarity. Could be 24 hours, could be a couple of days, week, months, right? We have to wait until we feel it in our body. And we're like, okay, so I'll get back to you. Let me think about it. Let me sit with that, right? Those are the go to responses when someone wants an answer. When someone asks me, what am I manifesting, right? Be like, still sitting with it, I'm still figuring it out. So then, like Mr. mentioned, 35% of the world is a sacral authority. That is going with your gut. It is yes, no. You're going to ask myself, do I want to manifest a new car? And feel that hit in your gut that will tell you yes or no. So it works in the now, and that's it. Go with your gut. If you're not a sacral authority, do not go with your gut. Don't. Next, we have the splenic authority. So that is all about intuition. It is different for everyone. You need to know how your intuition works for you because it will come as a whisper, as a hit, as a sudden insight, and that's it. It won't come again. So you need to be able to listen out for it to know what to do with it. Next, we have the ego authority. This is all about the heart. It's leading with your heart, and it's really about worth, asking yourself, is it worth it? Do I want to put my energy into this? Is what I'm manifesting worth my energy? Then we have self projected. This is all about talking it out, hearing your voice, letting it guide you, speaking your truth to someone who will just listen. Voice notes are great for this, even if you're sending them to yourself. So talk through it because you might be like, ooh, I actually don't want to manifest that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of manifesting that. But when I said it, ooh, that just like gave me the chills, right? Gave me all the feels. Then we have mental, environmental. This is for all the mental projectors. And again, it's really about talking it out, soundboarding. But when you put it out, you have to feel it back in your body, right? This is all inner authorities. So it's based on how it feels within your body. So mental authorities, putting it out there, feeling it back in. And then lastly, we have the reflectors with a lunar authority. Only 1% of the world has this. And it's about waiting a lunar cycle, waiting a month, waiting 28 days to ride the energies of the moon. Again, to feel into it, to wait for the clarity to reveal itself. It's probably going to surprise you, but it's going to delight you. So, all of these are really, again, internal. So, knowing where in your body to tap into, cultivating that awareness, and really embodying that, letting that inner truth guide you is going to be key for manifesting.
Yeah. And I was thinking as you were talking, that sacral, if you have that sacral, like what a gift, right? To be able to make those decisions in the moment, in the now. And for those of us who don't have that, like I said earlier, I was like, frustrating to not have that. But then at the same time, it's like, well, then I get to choose, right? And then wait for my clarity to find what really feels like the right decision for me to do. I will say it's taken me a while to understand that for myself as an emotional authority is to get that clarity because I'm also a manifesting generator and I kind of want to move fast. I want to move quickly. And so having to wait on the clarity can be really frustrating. But it's funny because when I am in alignment and I do want to manifest something, it actually works. And I can tell you different trips that I've manifested through different opportunities and things like that because it was in alignment with what I was creating versus when I try to force, like my business or an outcome with my business or something that really isn't what I want, it really never comes. And that's okay because it's not actually what's meant for me or what I actually desire. I just think it's what I desire because of the outside societal pressures of what people put on us at times.
Yeah, so let's talk more about that because those things plummet us into our not self theme, right? If we
Mm,
keep pushing that energy, forcing, saying, I really, really want that, and it's not in alignment with your authority, right? You're going to plummet into frustration, bitterness, anger, disappointment, and you're just going to probably keep forcing through those feelings to try to make it happen.
right. And when you do that, that's when we end up in burnout and, crashing and burning. And then, of course, just being like, well, I guess I'm just not one of those lucky people that can manifest things. And so we just completely give up altogether, which is such a shame because everybody has that ability to manifest, but it does take an understanding of how you manifest, having the patience, and really aligning with what you want to create here and not just what you think you want to create or what you think you need in your life to feel better, look better, whatever. In Planning by Design, we have women talking about different pieces all the time. And we just had this really amazing brand clarity mastermind last week. And some of the questions that were brought up in that mastermind were really great. But a big part of it, because we mostly work with women in business, is talking about social media and content and sort of and when we talk about that, it might seem funny to think about like manifestation, right? And like creating content, but most women are trying to manifest success in their business, right? They want to see their business thrive, whether that's going viral on social media or making a ton of sales or bringing in a bunch of new clients. Like Those are the things that a lot of clients will look at. And oftentimes, Jen and I are redirecting them around different aspects of this as like, well, you want to manifest, say, 10 new clients into your business. But if you do that, does that still give you the freedom and the space and the time that you actually want within your business? Or are you just planning on meeting with clients all week long, every day, and then ending up in burnout, right? Or I spent, so much time creating this amazing post that I thought was going to go viral, and then it didn't, and it flopped, and now I'm frustrated or I'm bitter or I'm angry, and so what we are sort of, as we guide people back through, is like, well, you might see the surface layer, but Jen and I are kind of digging underneath that surface layer to sort of see exactly what our membership clients are actually looking for in order so that they can manifest in alignment and create in alignment by using their human design authority.
Yeah, because so many times we want to manifest what we think we should manifest, right? But this is the era of fuck the shoulds. So we need to toss that out and really tap into your body, right? Like, okay, I want to manifest this. So tapping into your inner authority of, do I really want this? Does this make me feel good? Or is it really scary and maybe I'm blocking myself from manifesting? Or maybe I haven't even checked in with my body at all, and this is not being manifested because it actually isn't meant for me, right? Like you said, Mistral,
Yeah.
if I manifest 10 clients, I'm going to burn out, right? I can't handle 10 one-on-one clients a week. Like, absolutely not. So if I was putting energy into manifesting that, right, I would probably be bitter. The universe would not grant me that because it is not meant for me. So in a way, when we tap into our authority, it's going to guide us to our truth, to the manifestations that are aligned for us. And then we do the work to help our energy, right, meet that new reality. Yeah, I feel like what we're talking about today is really like the pre work to manifesting. It's about deciding, what do I want? What is in alignment for me? And then after you have the clarity, right? It feels good in your body. It's going to bring you into your signature theme of satisfaction, of success, peace, delight. And this is exactly what we support all of our women inside Planning by Design with. We talk about manifestation multiple times a month. We'll be checking in with them tomorrow on our accountability support call to see how their monthly manifestations and focus is going, which this month we're all talking about messaging and branding because of our business intensive and the pop-up last week. So there is so much manifestation that goes on within this membership. You get our workbook filled with amazing worksheets that help guide you to what's the word, managing your energy, stewarding your energy so that is in alignment with you, what is meant for you, and so that you can manifest whatever it is you're manifesting.
Yeah, I know our workbooks are fire, so that's probably the best part. Besides
Yeah.
besides the live one-on-one coaching.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you're interested, join us and message us, comment. We will get you that link to sign up, $89 a month, calls every week. It is just an amazing community to be a part of.
I agree. I agree. Well, next week we are is going to be the final, I think, of our manifestation series. I don't remember what we're talking about, but it'll be a nice surprise for y'all next week. You can go back to the posts on my feed or Jen's feed. It'll actually say the date. You got it?
I do. And it's so exciting because we're going to be talking next week about the arrows. Ooh, it's
Yes, my
Memorial Day
favorite.
next week though.
Ooh.
We'll have to
Check
see.
in on that.
But it's the new moon in Gemini. It is the perfect
Yes.
time to manifest, to set your intentions.
Mm.
So take this week, find out your authority, tap into your body, and really gain clarity on what it is you're manifesting so that you can join us next week with your human design chart to look at your arrows and manifest with the new moon.